We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. In this video, we'll explore 6 daily practices that can transform your life in just a week. These practices are grounded in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and are designed to help you cultivate inner peace, mental clarity, and resilience. If you're feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges, these simple but powerful techniques can guide you toward a calmer, more focused existence. Stay tuned as we walk through each practice, one by one, and discover how small adjustments in your daily routine can lead to lasting change. 1. Start your day with intentional silence. The first practice is to begin each day with a moment of intentional silence. The Stoics believed that our minds are often clouded by external noise and distractions, which can prevent us from focusing on what truly matters. By starting the day in silence, we create space for reflection, intention setting, and clarity before the hustle and bustle of life takes over. In the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, we find the concept of beginning the day with a clear mind. He wrote in his meditations, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. Human beings are born for work. The things I have to do are the things that are just and right for me." Marcus Aurelius' reminder to start the day with purpose echoes the importance of preparing mentally for the challenges ahead. The power of intentional silence lies in its ability to center your thoughts. By removing the distractions that typically accompany our mornings, such as jumping straight into emails, social media, or even the news, you give your mind the opportunity to cultivate focus and clarity. This practice does not require a long-time commitment. Even just 5 to 10 minutes can make a world of difference. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus would often advise people to take time each morning to prepare their minds for the day. He suggested that we examine ourselves before we face the world. He believed that self-reflection and intentional mental preparation were essential for living a life in accordance with virtue. When you wake up in the morning, you must take a moment to remind yourself, what is my role today? What kind of person do I want to be? What challenges may I face? Epictetus believed that answering these questions each day helped keep one grounded and directed towards self-improvement. So, how can you implement this practice into your daily life? Start by waking up just a few minutes earlier than usual, and instead of rushing to get out of bed, sit quietly, close your eyes and focus on your breath. Allow your thoughts to settle without judgment or urgency. You can even use this time to reflect on the things you are grateful for or to set intentions for the day ahead. What are the most important tasks you need to focus on? How can you approach your challenges with calm and composure? By practicing intentional silence each morning, you'll find that you begin the day with a stronger sense of direction and purpose. Instead of being overwhelmed by the external world, you create a mental space where you can connect with your inner calm. Over time, this practice will help you develop greater emotional resilience, focus, and clarity throughout your day. The benefits of starting your day with silence extend far beyond just the morning hours. When you begin your day intentionally, you create a foundation of peace that influences how you approach the rest of the day. This practice reduces anxiety, allows you to remain grounded, and gives you the space to think more clearly when challenges arise. By adopting this simple but powerful practice, you can transform your mornings and, ultimately, your entire mindset over time. 2. Practice daily reflection. The second practice that can lead to a transformative change in your life is daily reflection. The Stoics were firm believers in the importance of regularly evaluating their thoughts, actions, and emotions. For them, life was a continual process of self-improvement and learning. By reflecting on our behavior each day, we can better understand our reactions, identify areas for growth, and strengthen our ability to live in alignment with our values. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, often emphasized the importance of self-reflection. He said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This quote reminds us that reflection helps us avoid wasting time and energy on things that don't serve us. When we take a moment to review our actions, we can ensure that we're living intentionally and making the most of our time. A powerful way to practice daily reflection is through journaling. Journaling allows you to assess the events of your day, analyze your thoughts and feelings, and identify what went well or where you could have improved. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often wrote about his thoughts and struggles, using his journal as a tool for self-examination. His reflections were filled with questions such as, what did I do well today? What could I have done better? How did I react to challenges? And what can I learn from those reactions? When you take time at the end of each day to write down your thoughts, you engage in a process of introspection that brings clarity and insight. This practice enables you to see patterns in your behavior and thought processes that you may not have noticed in the heat of the moment. It's also a way to track your progress and remind yourself of the things you're doing right, even when life feels challenging. The key to effective reflection is not to dwell on your mistakes or dwell in negativity, but rather to use reflection as a means of growth. For instance, if you faced a difficult situation at work or had a confrontation with someone, reflect on how you responded. Did you react impulsively, or were you able to stay calm and composed? What Stoic virtues, such as patience or self-control, could you have practiced more effectively in that situation? By asking yourself these kinds of questions, you'll gradually cultivate more wisdom and better decision-making skills. Daily reflection can also help you practice gratitude. In addition to analyzing challenges, take time to acknowledge the positive moments of your day. Reflect on the small victories, the people who supported you, and the lessons you learned. Stoic philosophers believed that we should appreciate everything, both good and bad, as it all contributes to our growth. By focusing on gratitude, you foster a sense of contentment and prevent the mind from slipping into dissatisfaction or envy. For modern-day application, set aside a few minutes each evening to sit quietly and journal your thoughts. You don't need to write pages, just jot down a few key points, reflections, or lessons learned from the day. Some people find it helpful to ask themselves a series of guiding questions, such as, what did I do well today? Where can I improve? How did I respond to difficult situations? What can I be grateful for today? This process may seem simple, but the power lies in the consistency. The more you practice daily reflection, the more it becomes a tool for self-mastery. Over time, you'll find that you begin to understand yourself on a deeper level, which will help you respond to life's challenges with greater wisdom, patience, and emotional control. Incorporating daily reflection into your routine doesn't require drastic changes. It's a small, simple practice that can lead to profound long-term benefits. By making it a habit, you'll become more mindful, intentional, and better equipped to navigate the complexities of life with a calm and clear mind. 3. Practice negative visualization. The third practice that can dramatically transform your life is the practice of negative visualization. While it may sound counterintuitive at first, negative visualization is one of the most powerful tools the Stoics used to build resilience, gratitude, and mental fortitude. The practice involves imagining the worst-case scenario, thinking about the things you fear or might lose, and preparing yourself mentally and emotionally for those outcomes. The Stoics, especially Seneca and Epictetus, believed that we often suffer more from our fears and anxieties than from the actual events themselves. By mentally rehearsing the worst that could happen, we diminish the emotional impact it might have on us if and when it occurs in reality. Epictetus famously said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Negative visualization helps us see the value in what we have and recognize that we are often more resilient than we realize. For example, imagine that you're worried about losing your job. Instead of letting that anxiety build up and paralyze you, practice negative visualization by imagining the worst-case scenario, losing the job. What would your life look like? How would you handle it? Would you be able to find another job, perhaps even one that suits you better? By facing these fears head-on in your mind, you begin to reduce their power over you. You accept that change and loss are a part of life and that you have the ability to navigate those situations with strength and wisdom. Seneca wrote extensively about this practice in his letters. In one of his letters to Lucilius, he said, "Set aside a certain number of days in your life for the purpose of imagining how you would act if you were to lose everything. your wealth, your friends, your possessions. By doing this regularly, you will stop fearing these losses and instead embrace the impermanence of life. This Stoic exercise isn't about dwelling on negativity, but rather preparing your mind for inevitable challenges. It's about realizing that nothing in life is permanent, and that by understanding the temporary nature of our possessions, relationships, and achievements, we can approach each day with a more balanced and peaceful mindset. It's not about wishing for things to go wrong, but preparing yourself emotionally to handle them with grace when they do. In modern life, the benefits of negative visualization can be immense. It helps you manage anxiety and reduce fear about the future. For instance, if you're worried about your health, imagine a situation where you fall ill. How would you cope? Would you rely on loved ones? Would you find strength in the support of your community? This practice helps to ground you in the present moment and refocus your attention on the things that are within your control, rather than stressing over hypothetical outcomes. This technique can also increase your sense of gratitude. When you imagine losing things you value, your job, your home, your relationships, it encourages you to appreciate them more fully in the present. The act of imagining loss reminds you that everything you have is temporary and that the only thing you truly own is your response to life's challenges. Negative visualization can also make you more adaptable. By rehearsing various scenarios in your mind, you prepare yourself mentally for setbacks. Instead of being blindsided when something goes wrong, you'll be more likely to face it with calm and poise. To incorporate negative visualization into your life, take a few minutes each day to reflect on what you might lose. Imagine losing something that you hold dear, whether it's a job, a relationship, or your health. Consider how you would handle that loss and what steps you could take to adjust and rebuild. By doing this exercise regularly, you'll find that your anxieties begin to diminish, and you'll develop a greater sense of inner strength. This practice might seem uncomfortable at first, but over time, it will help you approach life with a mindset of acceptance and resilience. By embracing the inevitability of loss, you will be better equipped to handle whatever challenges come your way. 4. Practice the dichotomy of control. The fourth transformative practice is the dichotomy of control, a fundamental Stoic principle that teaches us to focus only on what is within our control and to let go of everything outside of it. This idea, popularized by Epictetus, is one of the most powerful Stoic tools to cultivate peace and clarity of mind. It emphasizes the importance of discerning between what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, and what we cannot, such as the actions of others, external events, and outcomes. Epictetus once said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." This simple yet profound distinction allows us to direct our energy towards the things we have the power to influence, while simultaneously freeing ourselves from unnecessary stress and worrying over things beyond our control. This shift in perspective has a profound impact on mental well-being. It removes the illusion of control over external circumstances and helps us focus inward, where our true power lies. Consider an example from everyday life. Imagine you're preparing for an important presentation at work. You can control how much effort you put into preparing, the quality of your presentation, and how you communicate with your audience. However, you cannot control the reactions of your coworkers, their level of interest, or any unforeseen technical problems. By accepting this reality, you can relieve yourself of unnecessary pressure. You focus on the aspects you can influence and release attachment to the outcome. If the presentation doesn't go as planned, you can still learn from it, rather than beating yourself up over things that were out of your control. The dichotomy of control is particularly powerful in relationships as well. For instance, we cannot control the behavior of others, whether it's their opinions, actions, or attitudes, but we can control how we respond to them. If someone is rude or disrespectful to you, you cannot force them to behave differently, but you can choose not to let their actions affect your peace of mind. By practicing this distinction, you free yourself from the emotional turmoil that comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, frequently reflected on this principle in his meditations. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength, This wisdom can be applied to almost any situation in life. If you are dealing with a difficult colleague or a challenging family dynamic, remind yourself that their behavior is beyond your control. What is within your control is your own reaction. Instead of becoming angry or frustrated, focus on maintaining your calm, acting with dignity, and responding with understanding. The dichotomy of control is not about passively accepting everything that happens to us. It is about recognizing the limits of our power and choosing to act with wisdom where we do have control. When we let go of our attachment to outcomes and release the desire to control others, we gain a greater sense of freedom and inner peace. We stop fighting against reality and start to work in harmony with it. In practical terms, this means identifying the things you can control in any given situation. Whenever you encounter a challenge, pause and ask yourself, what can I control here? What is beyond my control? For example, if you're facing a stressful deadline, you can control how you manage your time, how you stay organized, and how you prioritize tasks. However, you cannot control external factors, such as delays or unexpected interruptions. Focusing on what you can control helps reduce anxiety and creates a more productive, centered mindset. This practice can also help you manage expectations. By understanding the limits of your control, you no longer expect to have power over every situation. Instead, you develop the wisdom to recognize when something is outside your reach and when it's time to let go. This understanding is liberating because it removes the pressure of having to control everything and allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters. The dichotomy of control, a tool for personal growth. It helps you take responsibility for your actions while letting go of the desire to manipulate everything around you. It fosters resilience because you learn to handle setbacks with grace, knowing that you have the strength to control your responses, no matter what happens. To implement this practice, start by journaling or reflecting each day on situations that have caused you stress. Identify which aspects of the situation were within your control and which were not. Next, consider how you could have focused more on your own actions and less on the uncontrollable factors. By regularly practicing the dichotomy of control, you'll find that you experience less frustration and more peace. You'll also become more adaptable and resilient as you learn to. 5. Practice mindful reflection. The fifth practice to help you achieve lasting peace is mindful reflection. This is a simple yet highly effective Stoic technique for maintaining inner calm and clarity. It involves taking regular pauses throughout your day to reflect on your actions, thoughts, and emotions. The Stoics believed that we should not simply react to events, but take time to consider them, reflect on them, and choose how to respond in the most virtuous way possible. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, often wrote about the importance of self-reflection. In his letters to Lucilius, he emphasized that taking time each day to review our actions would help us become more aware of our behaviors, better understand our weaknesses, and align ourselves more closely with our values. Stoics were committed to improving themselves continuously, and they understood that without reflection, they would simply repeat the same mistakes over and over. One powerful way to practice mindful reflection is to set aside a few minutes at the end of each day to review your actions. Ask yourself questions like, what went well today? Where did I fall short? What can I do differently tomorrow? This practice doesn't require you to judge yourself harshly, but rather to approach it with compassion and a mindset of growth. By identifying where you acted with wisdom and where you could improve, you are better equipped to make wiser decisions in the future. Another useful aspect of mindful reflection is its ability to help us detach from emotional reactions. When something challenging happens, it's easy to be swept away by feelings of anger, frustration, or fear. However, Stoics believed that our emotional responses are often the result of unexamined thoughts and assumptions. By reflecting on these reactions, we can understand the underlying beliefs that cause them and challenge them if necessary. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather understanding them and choosing how to respond with greater clarity and control. For example, let's say you had a disagreement with a colleague. Instead of simply reacting to the situation, take a moment to reflect. What triggered your emotional response? Were your feelings of frustration to a misunderstanding, or did you project your own insecurities onto the situation? By reflecting on these questions, you gain insight into your thought patterns and can approach future conflicts with more composure and understanding. Quick reminder, if you find value in this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions. Your support helps the channel grow and reach more people interested in Stoicism. Mindful reflection can also help us build resilience. Life is full of challenges, and how we react to them can make all the difference. By regularly reflecting on our experiences, we can learn to face adversity with greater strength and wisdom. For instance, if you encounter a setback in your personal life, taking time to reflect on it can help you understand what went wrong, what you could have done differently, and how you can move forward in a healthier and more productive way. The Stoics believed that life's difficulties were opportunities to cultivate virtues like patience, courage, and wisdom. By reflecting on them mindfully, you can transform even the hardest moments into stepping stones for personal growth. Additionally, the practice of mindful reflection allows us to be more present in our lives. When we reflect on our actions and thoughts, we become more conscious of the present moment and less likely to be consumed by distractions or anxieties about the future. Stoics understood the importance of living in harmony with the present, as it is the only time we truly have. By reflecting mindfully, we learn to appreciate each moment for what it is, rather than constantly striving for an idealized future or dwelling on past regrets. In conclusion, the practice of mindful reflection is an essential tool for achieving peace and self-improvement. By regularly reflecting on your actions and emotions, you gain greater insight into your inner world and improve your ability to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and grace. The more you make this practice a daily habit, the more equipped you will become to navigate your life with clarity and calmness. This Stoic technique empowers you to take control of your responses, cultivate resilience, and live in alignment with your values, leading to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. 6. Cultivate gratitude daily. The sixth practice to incorporate into your life is the simple yet profound act of cultivating gratitude daily. Gratitude is a powerful Stoic tool for fostering peace of mind, and it has the remarkable ability to transform how we experience life's challenges. The Stoics believed that the more we focus on the positive aspects of our lives, the less we are bothered by what is lacking or what might go wrong. Cultivating gratitude shifts our perspective from what is wrong in our lives to what is going right, grounding us in the present and enhancing our mental and emotional resilience. Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, emphasized gratitude in his writings, particularly in his letters to Lucilius. He advised that each day, before falling asleep, one should reflect on the good things that happened throughout the day. This practice, he argued, would help ensure that a person's mind is not clouded by negative events or worries, and that they could maintain a sense of contentment and peace, regardless of external circumstances. To begin this practice, take a few moments each day to reflect on what you are grateful for. Start by acknowledging the small things, the warm meal you had, the health you are experiencing, or even the chance to spend time with loved ones. Over time, this practice deepens, allowing you to appreciate not just the obvious blessings, but also the challenges that contribute to your growth. For example, you may find gratitude in the lessons learned from difficulties you have faced or the strength you have gained from adversity. One of the most valuable benefits of cultivating daily gratitude is its ability to reduce stress and anxiety. When we focus on what we have rather than what we lack, we free ourselves from the cycle of comparison and desire that can lead to unhappiness. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the never-ending chase for more, whether it's more possessions, more success, or more validation. Gratitude helps to break that cycle by reminding us that enough is already enough, and that happiness doesn't come from external achievements, but from within. An example of how this can be applied in modern life is through the practice of gratitude journaling. Every evening, take a few minutes to write down at least 3 things you are grateful for. They could range from something as small as a beautiful sunset or as significant as the support of a close friend. As you continue this practice, you'll start to see a shift in your mindset, where negative thoughts and worries are replaced with appreciation for life's abundance. Another way to practice gratitude is to take time to express your thanks to others, whether it's thanking someone for their help, acknowledging a colleague for their hard work, or simply telling your friends or family how much they mean to you. Expressing gratitude not only boosts your own happiness, but also strengthens your relationships. In doing so, you are practicing one of the core tenets of Stoicism, recognizing the interconnectedness of all people and acknowledging the contributions others make to your life. In Stoic philosophy, gratitude is not just about celebrating the good. It's also about finding value in life's hardships. This is known as amor fati, or the love of fate. By accepting everything that happens, whether pleasant or unpleasant, with gratitude, Stoics believe we can transform adversity into an opportunity for growth. This means that when something challenging happens, instead of complaining or resisting it, we embrace it as a lesson and a part of our journey. For example, if you lose a job, rather than focusing on frustration or fear, you could choose to be grateful for the opportunity to grow, learn new skills, or even pursue a different path that aligns better with your values. To deepen your gratitude practice, consider practicing morning gratitude as well. Begin your day by focusing on the things you're grateful for before you start your routine. This can shift your focus toward the positive, setting a tone of contentment and peace as you navigate your day. In conclusion, cultivating gratitude daily allows us to shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. By practicing gratitude, we acknowledge the good in our lives, reduce unnecessary stress, and foster a more peaceful and grounded existence. As you integrate this Stoic practice into your daily life, you will not only feel more content, but you will also develop a greater sense of perspective, realizing that much of what you need for a fulfilled and peaceful life is already within your reach.